Thanks everybody for coming today. My name is Michael Kink. I'm the Executive Director of the Strong Economy for All Coalition. We're one of the dozens of groups that have come together planning a major mobilization for next week and a large march and rally between City Hall and Wall Street on May 12th. This coalition is made up of New York's leading unions, community groups, advocacy organizations, folks that are on the front line every day in neighborhoods all over New York City. We represent seniors, we represent daycare providers, we represent working men and women who do the work of the city every day and are facing multi-billion-dollar cuts from Mayor Bloomberg's budget, which will be released tomorrow. This coalition has put together an alternative to cuts and austerity in the city. We're issuing a report today, Payback Time, 1.5 billion ways to save our city's budget and make the big banks and millionaires pay their fair share. This report outlines specific details of how the city can get $1.5 billion to restore the worst cuts, to prevent the most harm, and to get our city on a better track towards a fairer, stronger economy for all. We have a number of speakers today. We'll start with Michael Mulgrew, the President of the United Federation of Teachers.
Good afternoon and thank you, everyone. First and foremost, we are here to kick off a week which will culminate next Thursday, May 12th, with a large rally, a mobilization of people saying, we want New York City's economy to work for everyone, because it is clear, now more than ever, this economy is not working for everyone. We are standing on the precipice of a budget where the mayor will tell us tomorrow probably about cuts, millions and millions of dollars of cuts, but these cuts are going to affect the working families and the people who need the social safety net more than anyone else. And we're standing here 2 years after the banks of this city received $877 million of taxpayers' money, $1 billion of taxpayers' money. And now that that bill has come due, now that what they have done to our economy is now what we have to deal with, the people, the taxpayers, the working families, and the people who need these services more than anyone else are going to have to pay for their misdeeds once again. And that is just wrong. It is wrong. So we need, the report that has been issued today talks about all different policy changes, policy choices. I can't be any clearer. These are choices that have been made by the mayor in this administration. Choices that have given hundreds of millions in dollars to banks for subsidies to create jobs for New Yorkers. And now that they have fallen woefully short, over 15,000 jobs were not created. Is this city asking for those subsidies back? No, they are not. Are we going to close the tax loopholes that the hedge funds are taking advantage of, so hedge funds that are making record profits are not paying taxes? It's just not right.
Is it right? No! Is it right? No! Is it right?
No! So you will see what you have here today and what you will see on May 12th are not just unions, not just community groups, not just elected officials, not just advocacy people. You are seeing the real community of New York coming out and saying, enough is enough. We want an economy that's fair and works for everyone. Thank you all very much. Enough. Enough is 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 enough.
Is it fair?
No.
Is it fair?
No.
Is it fair?
No.
I'd like to introduce Mary Brosnahan, Executive Director of the Coalition for the Homeless, another member of the May 12th Coalition.
Our message is very short and unfortunately not very sweet. We have record homelessness in New York City. Last year, over 113,000 different people were forced to go into the municipal shelter system, and that includes over 48,000 children. Mayor Bloomberg is the first mayor, as of last month, the first mayor in modern homeless history to not have any plan to house homeless families. So what's going to happen? If families don't have any place to go, those numbers are going to go up exponentially. They're going to go up, up, and up. And what's happening on Wall Street? The salaries are going up, up, and up. The bonuses are going up, up, and up.
And is that right?
No!
Which would you rather see? More money flooding into Wall Street and more homeless kids? Or Wall Street stepping up and paying their fair share so we can make sure that kids have decent housing and a place to lay their head at night and so they can get better and go to school the next day? I know that for Mayor Bloomberg and the Koch brothers, their choice is very clear. They would rather have these kickbacks to Wall Street and not pay attention to the working people and the poor people who are trying to get jobs here. But for all New Yorkers that I know, they want less homelessness and more affordable housing options. Thank you.
Thanks, Mary. I'm Michael Kink, Executive Director of the Strong Economy for All Coalition, with a few details about today's report. Big banks and millionaires in New York can't afford to pay their fair share. The 6 largest banks are making $199 million in profit every day. Their first quarter earnings report showed over $18 billion in profit. The banks that are here can afford to pay their fair share. The millionaires that are here are gaining larger and larger share of the city's income. They can afford to pay their fair share. Our report outlines $1.5 billion in savings that the mayor and the city council can achieve to restore the worst cuts. First, by ending subsidies, sweetheart deals, and special tax breaks for the banks. The subsidies, over $100 million in subsidies they've been paid but didn't earn. There are 3 deals with JP Morgan Chase, with Bank of America, and with Morgan Stanley, where the banks did not create the jobs that they were asked to create, and yet they took the money. They've got to pay us back. And we're asking Mayor Bloomberg to go back to prior year subsidies and to request that they give back $200 million in prior year subsidies to help with this year's fiscal crisis. Second, fair share taxation. Mayor Bloomberg needs to fight in Albany for the millionaire's tax. The millionaire's tax doesn't expire until December 31st. If it's continued, it'll immediately bring at least $460 million to our schools. It'll bring hundreds of millions more for essential city services. Bloomberg should also take steps now to close the loophole that allows hedge funds and private equity firms to avoid paying their fair share in the city's unincorporated business tax. That break alone would bring the city $200 million, enough to restore child care cuts, homeless cuts, and cuts to HIV/AIDS services. There's another loophole for millionaires, the deduction for the UBT on the personal income tax. If we close that loophole just for millionaires and billionaires, we'd get another $120 million to restore the worst of the cuts.
Close it now!
Close it now!
The third area that we talk about in our report are bad practices at the bank that cost the city money. Toxic interest rate swaps, $108 million. Refusal to modify mortgages that are killing our neighborhoods all over the city. $185 million in saved costs if the banks would just modify half the foreclosures that are currently in the system. The MERS system, the magic wand that they use with their computers to avoid paying recording taxes to the city clerk. $70 million at the very least that they've escaped paying from this computer system. Cities and counties all over the country are asking them to pay that back. New York's share is at least $70 million. Finally, contracts with the banks. Just like nonprofits have to take cuts, we say the banks should take cuts in their contracts too. Over $600 million in city contracts with the biggest banks. A 20% cut would get us $120 million to restore the worst of the cuts. If nonprofits are asked to do more with less, we certainly can ask the banks to do more with less. I don't think they have less. I think they have more with the profits they're making.
Banks, pay